today we want to talk about anything that matters to you, but we want to weave it into the framework of the laws of the universe as we know them to be. We want you to begin to utilize law of attraction and its momentum, its literal physics of motion, in the same way that you have learned to use gravity to your advantage. None of you say, I'm going to be the exception to gravity. I can fly for a minute. We want you to understand that this law of attraction is your best friend. And the reason that it is because it's utterly consistent. But you have to understand what you're doing with it. You have to understand what your point of attraction is before you are the deliberate creator of your own reality. Otherwise, you're creating by default, just sort of offering thought all over the place. So I'm going to give you a very brief sort of bringing you round to what we know you already know, but it's a good basis to begin with. And then it is our promise to you that today, not only will we answer everything that's active within you, for sure, but together we will collectively take thought beyond anything that has been before on this subject of creating your own reality. Because we want you to be clear and confident about how thoughts turn to things. How is it that you conjure something in your mind, practice it a little bit, and then it begins manifesting in your experience? Everything that you are living is a literal translation of the vibration that you've been practicing. But when you're not doing it on purpose, when you're not doing it deliberately, when you're not paying attention to the guidance system within you, and you're not deliberately molding your thought with awareness of what the new molding feels like, then you have a tendency as humans, we love you so much, to observe outcomes, to observe conditions, and then to spend most of your time evaluating the conditions, measuring them, categorizing them, judging them, condemning them or praising them, but vibrating all over the place because of them. So you have very little control of your own output because we love you so much, nosy. You have so much attention about so many things that you then activate in your vibration that doesn't serve you. And the primary reason that you are willing to do that is because, did we tell you we love you? You're willing to put up with not feeling good. You're willing to endure negative emotion. You're willing to say, guidance system, I know you're trying to help me do what's better for me, but I'm strong and brave. And I can endure the discord that I'm feeling as I focus in opposition to what I want, to all that I've become, and to who I really am. That was dramatic, wasn't it? But you do it because you are willing to put up with it to a certain extent. And this is what we meant as we were talking to our friend about getting rid of doubt before it starts. In the early stages of practicing that vibration, it's not all that painful. It feels sometimes like a little bit funny, and then a little bit interesting, and then slightly annoying, and then maybe even overwhelming and irritating. But you can live with all of that. That's just daily life on planet Earth, you say. And we say, but it doesn't have to be. And if you let the momentum of it move from those slight irritations and you don't do something about changing the focus of your thoughts, it's going to get bigger. And before you know it, you've got some full-blown car barreling down the hill, and you're at the bottom of the hill trying to stop the momentum, and you're saying, this is hard. This is too hard. Life is hard, and it's not my fault. I blame my mother. She should have warned me. She shouldn't have warned me. She should have done something. She should have not done something. Poor mother, she can't win. And so once you realize that you have control now, and isn't it interesting how what is, which is not as important as you want to make it out to be, isn't it interesting how what is gets so much of your attention? Let's talk about what is. even more, let's talk about how what is came about. Let's talk about how what is has been what is. And now you're beginning to realize that the more you talk about what is, the more you practice the vibration of what is. A belief is only a thought you keep thinking. So if you are observing what is and talking about what is and explaining what is and justifying what is and rationalizing what is and defending what is and explaining what is and trying to get somebody else to understand your perspective of what is, there it is, isn't it? Then you're keeping an active vibration going that may not be serving you. Because in that belief that is contrary to what you want, you are introducing resistance into your vibrational output. You like knowing about your vibrational output? Do you get it? That you are outputting in every waking moment, that you are emanating a vibration, and that law of attraction is matching that vibration with other things like it. That's why it's easy to get on a roll with something, wanted or unwanted. We like to use the word momentum in conjunction with the words law of attraction, because law of attraction is the maker of momentum, and momentum is the result of law of attraction and your focus. So whatever you're giving your attention to, because of law of attraction's response to your vibrational output, it's gaining momentum. So a really good thing to ask yourself is, what's gaining the most momentum in my experience? The new idea of what I want, or the now awareness of what already is? Am I keeping myself from moving forward because of my attention to what is? Yes. Am I keeping myself from moving forward because of my attention to what is? Yes. Well, Abraham, am I keeping myself from moving forward because of my attention to what is? Can't you hear us? Yes. What is often is a wonderful thing to focus upon, because sometimes you want a continuation of some of what is, but sometimes you don't want a continuation of some of what is. So you want to be a selective sifter. And so then you say, yes, I'll do that soon. I'll do that soon. And we want to help you to give yourself the benefit of the doubt here. Give yourself a break, because you can't all of a sudden begin believing or thinking so differently than what you have been because of momentum. So yes, there's momentum now, and yes, it's playing out now, but it can change, because you have the ability to change your perspective. You have the ability, and these are the words we want you to leave here remembering forevermore. We're going to give it to you in a context that you've never considered before. You must consider your life experience without giving so much attention to the conditions of the experience. Because you cannot find vibrational alignment with source and with what's coming and with who you really are and with what you want and with all that you have created and with what's in your vortex and with all of the things that you have become. You cannot be a vibrational match to the more of you when you are a vibrational match to the less of you. It's one or the other. In other words, you've got to focus toward something. And if you're focused toward what is, then you are just regurgitating what is. You're holding yourself in a vibrational pattern that won't let you move from where you are. Different faces, different places. Have you noticed? Different scenarios, but the same old keeps happening because of your attention to what is, you see. And so we know you've heard the expression unconditional love. People talk about it all the time, but they don't have a clue what it means, because most people, when you speak of unconditional love, think that what we're saying is, look at some condition that is really important and tolerate it. Look at it, and even though your guidance system is turning your guts wrenching inside out, even though everything within you is letting you know that this conversation is not of advantage to you and it's just perpetuating a vibration that's going to continue a point of attraction that does not serve you and that you do not want, even though all of that is going on, be a lover, an unconditional lover. Just look at that guy you hate and say nice things about him when he's around. But unconditional love is being aligned with source. That means you have to look at things the way source looks at things. You can't have something going on in your vibration and just cover it up with words and action. That's not unconditional. That's based upon the conditions. And so we know it feels a little uncomfortable in the beginning of this discussion, but it is our promise to you that by the time you leave this gathering today, you'll have a clear understanding of how to tune to who you really are and what you really want, rather than to the current condition that is introducing resistance into your vibration. And that is all that is required for you to move from unwanted to wanted, or from less of something that you want to more of something that you want, to more interest, to more delight, to more passion, to more eagerness, to more love, to more appreciation, to more alignment, to more of who you already are vibrationally. Identify your preferences. Sometimes you don't really grasp that. You don't really understand how perfect it is and how important it is that you deliberately choose. So anyway, that's step one. You ask for what you want, and you can't stop asking, because life just continues to serve itself up to you in ways that cause you to identify your preferences. It happens all day, every day, at all levels of your being. It's really what the evolution of all species is about. So when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. If someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. If you're rude, you want to be nicer. If you're unhappy, you want to be happier. If something's gone wrong, you want it to go right. In other words, if you don't have enough of something you want more of it. It's a very simple equation, not hard for you to figure it out, and you're doing it all day, every day. But what you may not know is that every time, whether you speak it out loud or not, something happens like that, you are launching these vibrational preferences. And the larger part of you is aware of the preference that you have launched and becomes it, because your inner being is unconditional. Your inner being rides the rocket of your desire. When you say, I prefer something, your inner being doesn't say, well, there aren't that many of them going around. Your inner being doesn't say, well, that's risky business and it's unlikely. Your inner being doesn't say, you don't have the education for that, or the money for that, or the background for that. When you launch a rocket, a request, a preference, a desire, your inner being becomes a vibrational match to it immediately. And because you are an extension of that inner being who has become a match to it, now you hold the potential of splitting your energy if you don't become a match to it too. You see how it works? When you say, I want that, the source within you says, done. We're there. We've got it. We're a vibrational match to it. Because everything that manifests is first a vibrational frequency. And the source within you will give you this, can more easily match your desires, because in the energy stream, it is immediate. In your manifestational world, you've got some bugs to work out of your vibrational frequency. Source doesn't have to work those bugs out, because Source already believes in you. Source already knows your value. Source already knows your worthiness. Source remembers why you came and who you are. So when you launch a rocket about something that you would like more of, Source is right there in that frequency. And in fact, the only reason that any of you ever feel any slight or strong negative emotion is because Source finds the frequency, the fullness of the desire that you have launched, and when you don't, there's vibrational discord between you and Source. Does that make sense to you? If there were ever a way for you to understand that Source exists, it must be in your emotional awareness. Because if there were not someone keenly interested in you and holding a vibrational frequency about you, then you could think anything you want and you would feel no vibrational variance. That's something really to think about. When you feel negative emotion, it always means the same thing. You've got a different opinion about this than Source has about this, and that's something else we really want you to hear. Source does have an opinion about this and this and this and this. Now. Source adores you. When you're mad at yourself, you've got a split going on. There's a gap widening. Source adores the people of this planet. When you carve out a section of them and hate them, you've got a rift going on between you and Source. You will never be able to be in alignment with Source when you hold hate in your heart because of some condition that you can't control. As you get to know Source better through your awareness of what it feels like to be in alignment, you can learn in a matter of days how Source feels about everything that is active on your planet today. You can just give it the emotional test. When you think a thought and you feel love, you can know Source is in agreement with this thought. And when you think a thought and you feel fear, you can know Source is not anything close to an